I will not speak with her.
She is importunate, indeed distract. Her mood will needs be pitied.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father, says she hears those tricks in the world, and hems and beats her heart, spurns enviously at straws, speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing, yet sheeped use of it doth move the hearers to collection. They aim at it and botch the words up fit to their own thoughts, which as her winks and nods and gestures yield them, indeed would make one think there might be thought, and nothing sure, yet much unhappily.
'Twere good she was spoken with, for she makes your dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds.
Let her come in. To my sick soul, since true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some greater miss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt, it spills itself in fearing to be spilt.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
Oh, now, Ophelia.
How should I, your true love, know from another one? By his cockle hat and staff and his sandal shoon.
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this
Say
song?
you, nay, pray you, mark. He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. At his head a grass green turf and at his heels a stone. Oh ho!
Hey, Ophelia!
Pray you, mark. What his shroud is mountain snow.
Alas, here, my lord.
Larded all with sweet flowers, which be wept to the ground, did not grow with true love showers.
How do you, pretty lady?
Well, God healed you. They say the owl was the baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon a father.
Pray! Let's have no words of this, but when they ask you what it means, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning betime, and I am made at your window to be your Valentine. Then up he rose and donned his clothes and up to the chamber door. Let in the maid that out a maid never departed more.
Pretty Ophelia.
Indeed, without an oath I'll make an end on it. By gifts and by St. Charity, alack and fie for shame. Young men will do it if they come to it, by God they are to blame. Quoth she, before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. He answers, so would I have done by yonder sun if thou hadst not come to my bed.
How long has she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient, but I cannot choose but weep to think that they would lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it. And so I thank you for your counsel. Come, my coach. Good night. Good night. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Follow her close. Give her good watch, I pray you. Oh, Gertrude. This is the poison of deep grief. It springs off from a father's death. Gertrude. When sorrows come, they come not as single spies, but in battalions. First a father slain, next your son gone, and he the wicked author of his own just removed. The people muddled, thick and unwholesome in their thoughts and whispers for good Polonius' death, and we have done but greenly and hugger-mugger to inter him. Poor Ophelia, divided between herself and judgment. Last and most containing of these, a brother has in secret come from France. He feeds on his wonder, keeps his head in the clouds, wants not buzzes to infect his ears with pestilent speeches of his father's death.
Alack, what noise is this? Save yourself, my lord! The ocean, over-peering on his list, it's not the flatter war and piteous hate. Young Laertes in rising, overbears your officers. The rabble call him lord. They cry, choose we, Laertes shall be king! Caps, hands, tongues applaud to the clouds. Laertes shall be king! Laertes king! Out cheerfully on the folks' trail they cry.
Where is this king?
Oh,
Now, vile king, give me my father.
Oh, make a
That drop of blood that's corn proclaims me bastard cries cuckoo to my father, Bransdar, look even here. between a chaste, unsmirched brow of my
That was the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looked so giant-like. Let him go, Gertrude, not fear our person. As such divinity doth hedge a king, and treason peeps the one that would, makes little of his will. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art such incensed. Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by
Let
him.
him command his fill.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, conscience and grace to the profoundest pit. To this point I stand, that both the worlds I give to negligence. Let come what comes. I'll only be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
Laertes, that I am guiltless of your father's death, but most sensibly in grief for it, shall as level to your judgment peer as day does to your eye. Let her come in.
Oh, now what noise is this? Rose of May, dear sister, sweet Ophelia, is it possible a young maid's wit should be as mortal as an old man's life?
The poor bare-faced on the bier, hey naughty, hey naughty, and in his grave reigns many a tear. Fare you well, my dove.
Hadst thou thy wits and didst persuade revenge, it could not move thus.
You must sing a down, and you call him a downer. Oh, how the wheel becomes it. Oh, it was the false steward that stole his master's daughter.
Nothing's more than manner.
Here's rosemary for you. That is for remembrance. Pray you, love, remember. And here's pansies. That's for thoughts.
Document and madness, thoughts and remembrance fitting.
Here's fennel for you. And columbines. Here's rue for you. And here's some for me. You must wear your rue with a difference. And here's some daisies. I would to give you some violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end. For bonny sweet Robin is all my joy.
Thoughts and afflictions, passion, hell itself, turns to favor unto prettiness.
Will he not come again? And will he not come again? No, no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He will never come again. What his beard was snow, all flaxen was his poll. He is gone, and we castaway moan. God a mercy on his soul. And all of Christian souls, I pray. God be with you.
You see this, O God?
Laertes, I must commune with your grief, or you deny me right. Be you content and lend us your patience. We shall jointly labor with your soul to give it due content.
Let this be so. His means of death is obscure funeral, cry to be heard as it were from heaven to earth. I must call it in question.
So you shall. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall. Pray you, go with me. What is he that would speak with me?
A seafaring man, sir. He says he has a letter for you.
Let him come in. I do not know from what part of the world I would be greeted, if not from Lord Hamlet.
God bless you, sir. It's a letter for you, sir. It came from the ambassador bound for England.
Horatio, ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate of very warlike appointment gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail, we put on a compelled valor, and in the grapple I boarded them. On the instant they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they know what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Give the king the letters I have sent, and repair them to me with as much speed as thou wouldst fly dead. These good fellows will bring me to where I am. Farewell. He that thou knowest thine, Hamlet. Come, I will give you way for these your letters, and do it the speedier that you may direct me to him from whom you brought them.
Now must your conscience my acquitted seal. You must put me in your heart of friends if you have heard, and with a knowing ear that he which hath your noble father slain will suit my life.
So have I, a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate turn, whose worth, praises may go back at guns, stood challenger on mount for all the age of her perfections. My revenge will come.
Break not your sleeves for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we will let our beard be shook with danger and think it pastime. But you surely shall hear more. Oh, now, what do you...
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. These to your majesty and this to the queen.
Hamlet? Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord, they say. I saw them not.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, whereon, after begging your pardon, I shall account the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet. What should this mean? Are all the rest come back, or is it some abuse and no such thing?
Know you that?
'Tis Hamlet's character, naked, and in a postscript here he says alone. Can you advise me?
I'm lost in it warms the very sickness in my heart to know that I shall live and tell him to his teeth, thus didst thou.
If it be so, Laertes, will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord. So you will not rule me to a peace.
Did I know in peace? If he be not returned as checking at his voyage, it means no more than to undertake it. I shall work him to an exploit, now ripe in my device, under the which he shall not choose to fall. And of his death no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his mother shall uncharge the practice, and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled rather if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
Paul's right. You have been talked of since your travels much, and that in Hamlet's hearing, in a quality wherein they say you shine, a very ribbon in the cap of youth. 2 months since he was a gentleman of Normandy. He made confession of you and gave you such a masterly report for ardent exercise in your defense, and for your rapier most especially, that he cried out it would be a sight indeed if one could match you. Sir, this report did Hamlet so envenom with his envy that he could nothing do but beg your sudden coming lord to play with him. Now out of this...
What? Out of this, my lord.
Laertes, was your father dear to you?
Why ask me this?
Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to show yourself indeed his son more than in words?
Cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuaries. Revenge should have no bounds. But good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returns shall know you are come home. We'll put on those shall praise our excellence, and set a double varnish on the fame the Frenchman gave you. We'll bring you in fine together, and set a wager on your heads. He being remiss, generous, and free from contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease or by little shuffling you may choose a sword unbated, and by a passive practice, requite him for your father.
I will do it. For this purpose I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction from a mountebank, so lethal that to dip a knife in it, where it draws blood, no cataplasm so rare, can save the thing from death is but scratch the doll. I'll touch my point to this contagion that if I gall him slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think of this, if it should fail. So, let me see. Hamlet. And in your motions you will hot as dry, as make your bouts more violent to that end. He shall call for drink. I shall have prepared for him a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if he by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose shall hold there. Say no noise.
One road doth tread upon another's heels, so fast they follow. Your sisters drown, Laertes.
Drown? Where?
There is a willow, grows ascot the brook. It chooses all leaves in the glossy stream. There with fantastic garlands did she make, of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples. The liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our coal-maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant boughs her coronet weeds clambering hang, an envious little brook. When down her weedy trophies unto the surf fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide and mermaid-like, a while they bore her up. Each time she chanted snatches of old lauds, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued into that element. But long it could not be, till that her garments heavy with their drink pulled the poor wretch from her melodious leg, muddy dead.
last. And she is drowned.
Drowned. Drowned.
Too much water has up for Ophelia. Therefore I forbid my tears. Yet it is utterly. Nature her custom holds. When these are gone, the woman will be out. Do, my lord. The speech of fire, the thing in place, this folly drowns me.
Let's follow Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now I fear this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.
Is she to be buried in Christian burial when she willfully seeks her own salvation?
Tell thee she is. Therefore make her grave straight. The crowner has sat on her, finds it Christian burial.
But how can that be, unless she drowns herself in self-defense?
Why, 'tis found so.
It must be Saint Fernando. It cannot be else. For here lies the point. If I drown myself, that argues an act. And an act hath 3 parts. It is to act, to do, to perform. Argal, she drowns herself wittingly.
Nay, but here you
Give me leave. Here lies the water. Good. Here stands the man. Good. If the man goes to the water and drowns himself, it is willy-nilly he goes. Mark you that. But if the water come to him and drown him, he drowns not himself. Argal, the man that is not guilty of his own death, shortens not his own life.
But is this law?
I married his Croner's quest law.
Well, you had the truth on it. If she had not been gentlewoman, she should have been buried out of Christian burial.
Why, there thou sayest. And the more pity it is that great folk should have countenance in this world to drown or hang themselves more than they're ever Christian. Come, my spade. There are no ancient gentlemen, but gardeners, ditchers, and grave makers. They hold up Adam's profession.
Was he a gentleman?
He was the first that ever bore arms.
He had none.
What? Art a heathen? How dost thou interpret the scripture? The scripture says Adam digged. Could he dig without arms? Put another question to you. And if you answerest me not to the purpose, confess
Go to.
thyself. What is he that builds stronger than the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
The gallows maker. For that frame outlives 1,000 tenants.
I like thy wood well in good faith. The gallows does well. But how does it? It does well to those that do will. Now, you do well to say that the gallows is built stronger than the church. Argal, the gallows may do well to thee. To it again, come.
Who builds stronger than a mason, a shipwright, or a carpenter?
Aye, tell me that, and unyoke.
Mary, now I can tell.
Good.
Mass, I can.
Cudgel thy brains no more about it, for your dull ass will not mend its pace with beating. And when asked this question again next, say a grave maker, for the house he builds lasts till doomsday. Go, get thee in, and fetch me a stoup of liquor. In youth, when I did love, methought it was very sweet to contract to my behold. Methought there was nothing.
Does this man have no feeling of his business? He sings in grave making.
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
'Tis even so. The hand of little employment hath the daintier sense.
But age with its stealing steps hath clawed me in its clutch, hath shipped me off into this land as if I'd never been such.
That skull had a tongue in it and could sing once. How the knave jowls it to the ground as if 'twere Cain's jawbone that did the first murder. That might be the pate of a politician which this ass now o'erreaches, one that would circumvent God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
I will speak to this fellow. Whose grave's this, Sirrah?
Mine, sir.
I believe it be thine, for thou liest in it.
Thou liest out on, therefore it is not yours. For my part, I lie not in't, yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in't to be in't, and say it is thine. 'Tis for the dead, sir, not for the quick. Therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir. 'Twill away again from me to you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
For what woman, then?
For none, neither.
Who is to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute the knave is. We must speak by the card, or equivocation will undo us. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Of all the days in the year, I've been sexton here, man and boy, 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
If he be not rotten before he die, he will last you a good 8 year or 9 year. Here's a skull hath line you in the earth for 23 years.
Whose was it?
Mad fellas it was. Whose do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
Plague on him for a mad rogue. He poured a flagon of Rhenish over my head once. This same skull, sir, was, sir, Yorick's skull. The king's jester.
This?
In that.
Well, let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. And now how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar. Not one now to mock your own grinning. Quite chop fallen. Now get thee to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick. To this fashion she must come. Make her laugh at that. I pray you, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked this fashion in the earth?
E'en so.
And smelt so?
E'en so, my lord.
Ugh. To what base uses may we return, Horatio? Oh, but soft. Soft a while. Here come the king, the queen, the courtiers. Who is this they follow, and with such maimed rites? This doth betoken the corpse they followed did with desperate hand fordo its own life. Couch we a while and march.
Her obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have warranty. Her death was doubtful, but that great commander sways the order. She should in ground unsanctified been lodged to the last trumpet. Yet here she is allowed her virgin krantz, her maid instruments, and the bringing home of bell and burial.
So no more be done.
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead to sing a requiem, and such rest to her as to peace-parted souls.
Here in the earth, from her fair and unpolluted flesh may many violets spring. Tell thee, church priest, the ministering angels shall my sister be when thou liest howling.
What? The fair Ophelia?
Sweets to the sweet. Farewell. I hope thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed, dear dead sweet maid, not to strain thy grave.
Treble woe, while 10 times trouble upon that head whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of. Hold off the earth a while till I've caught her once more in my arms. Now pile your dust upon the quick and dead until others flat a mountain you have made.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis, whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded hearers? This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
Devil take thy soul!
Thou prayest not well. I prithee hold off thy hands. For though I am splendid and rash, yet have I in me something dangerous which let thy wisdom fear. Hold off thy hands. Good my lord, be quiet. But I will fight with him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag.
My son, what theme?
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers with all their quality of love could not make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
He is mad, Laertes.
For love of
Swoon,
God,
tell me what thou do. Would weep? Would fight? Would tear thyself? I'll do it. Dost thou come here to whine? To outface me with leaping in her grave? Be buried quick with her, and so will I.
This is mere madness, and thus a while the fit will work on him. Anon as patient as the female doe when that her golden couplets are disclosed, his silence will sit drooping.
Hear you, sir? What is the reason you use me thus? I loved you ever. It is no matter. Let Hercules do what he may. The cat will mew, and dog will have his day.
I pray you good Horatio, widow. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put this matter to the present push. Gertrude, set some watch over your son. This grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then in silence our proceedings be.
So much for this, sir. Now you shall see the other. You do remember all the circumstance.
Remember it, my lord.
Sir, in my heart there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep. Rashly, and praised be rashness for it. Let us note our indiscretion sometimes serves us well when our deep plots do pall. And that should learn us there's a divinity that shapes our ends, rough hew them how we will.
That is most certain.
Up from my cabin, in the dark, groped I to find them out. Fingered their packet, and in fine withdrew to mine own room again, where I found, Horatio, a royal knavery, an exact command that on the supervised no leisure baited. My head should be struck off. Being thus billeted round with villainies, I sat me down, devised a new commission. Wrote it fair, an earnest conjuration from the king, as England was his faithful tributary, that on the supervise and viewing of his contents, he should those bearers put to sudden death.
So Guildenstern and Rosencrantz go to it.
Why, man, they did make love to this employment. They are not near my conscience. Their defeat doth by their own insinuation grow. Does it not, think thee, stand me now upon? He that hath killed my father and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, throwed out his angle for my proper life, and with such cozenage, is not perfect conscience to quit him with this arm, and is not to be damned to let this canker of our nature come in further evil?
Why, what a king is this?
Good Horatio, to Laertes, I am very sorry that I forgot myself. For by the image of my own cause, I see the portraiture of his. I'll court his favors, but sure his bravery of grief did put me into a towering passion.
Peace.
Who comes here?
Your lordship is right welcome back to Denmark.
Oh, I humbly thank you, sir. Dost thou know this waterfly?
No, my good lord.
Thy estate is the greater, for 'tis a vice to know him.
If your sweet lordship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I shall receive it, sir, with all diligence of spirit.
The king hath bade me signify to you that, sir, that he hath laid a great wager on your head. This is the matter. Here is newly come to court Laertes. Believe me, an absolute gentleman, a man of most excellent differences, of soft society, of great showing, of
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Laertes, sir.
Of him, sir.
I know you are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is.
Well, I dare not confess that, lest I should compare with him in excellence. But to know a man well were to know himself.
I mean, sir, of his weapon.
Well, what's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger, sir.
Well, that's two of his weapons, but well.
Well, sir, The king, sir, hath laid, sir, that in a dozen passes between yourself and Laertes, that he should not exceed you 3 hits, and it would come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
Well, how if I answer no?
I mean, sir, the opposition of your person in trial.
Sir, I will walk here in the hall. If it please his majesty, it is the breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought, the gentleman willing, and the king hold his purpose. I will win for him, and I can. If not, I will gain nothing but my shame and the odd hits.
Shall I deliver you even so?
To this effect, sir, after what flourish your nature will.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours, yours.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went into France, I have been in continual practice. I will win at the odds, but thou wilt not think how ill all's here about my heart. But it is no matter.
If your mind dislike anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither and tell them you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy augury. There is a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all. What should a man leave, though he leave betimes? Let be.
Come, Hamlet. Come and take this hand from me.
Give me a pardon, sir, as you are a gentleman, as I have done you wrong. But pardon it. This audience knows, and you needs must have heard, how I am punished with a sore distraction. What I might have done that might your nature, honor, and exception roughly awake, I do hereby proclaim was madness. Sir, in this presence let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your most gracious thoughts, that I have shot the arrow over the house and hurt my brother.
Satisfied nature, whose motive in this case should stir me most to my revenge. But I do receive your offered love like love and will not wrong you.
I embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play. Come, give us the foils.
Come, one for me.
I'll be your foil, Laertes. In my ignorance, your skill, like a star in the darkest night, shall stick fiery off indeed. No, by this hand.
Give them the foils, young Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager?
Oh, very well, your grace. But your majesty has laid the odds on the weaker side.
Well, I do not doubt it. I have seen you both, but since he is better, we have therefore odds.
Let me see another.
Oh, this one likes me well. These foils have all length.
Aye, my lord.
Send me the stoops of wine on this table. If Hamlet give the first a second hit, or quit in exchange of the third, the king drinks to Hamlet's better breath. And in the cup in union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. And let the kettles to the trumpets speak, the trumpets to the cannoneers without, the cannons to the heavens to the earth. Now the king drinks to Hamlet. Come, begin. And you the judges bear wary eye.
Come on, sir.
Come, my lord.
One. No. Judgment.
A hit, a very palpable hit.
Hey, give me a drink. Hamlet, this pearl's thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
Oh, set it by a while. I'll play this bout first. Come. Touch it.
Our son shall win.
Faint and scant of breath. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin, rub thy brow. The queen carouses to Hamlet's fortune.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me.
It is the poison cup. It is too late.
Oh, by and by, madam, I dare not drink yet.
Come, let me wipe thy face.
My lord, will you now?
I do not think it.
Yet it is almost against my conscience. Come for the third, Laertes. You do but dally. I pray you, pass with your best violence. I am afeard you make a wanton of me.
Say you so?
Come on.
Nothing, neither way.
I let you now.
Pot them, they're insects!
Nay, come again.
Look to the queen here, ho!
Feet on both sides. How is it, my lord?
How is it, Laertes?
How does the queen?
She swoons to see them bleed.
No. Drink. The drink. Oh, my dear Hamlet, the drink. The drink. I am poisoned.
Oh, villainy! Treachery! Seek it out! It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. Indeed, there's not half an hour's life. The treacherous weapon is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's poison. I can no more. King. King's to blame. Then point and venom too. Then venom to thy rock!
You can't defend me, friends. I am but I.
Here, thou incestuous, murderous, damned and Dane! Drink off thy potion! Is thy union here? Follow my mother. He is justly served. He is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not upon thee, or thine on me. Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee. I am dead, Horatio. Wretched queen, but you that look pale and tremble at this chance, that are but mutes or audience to this act. Had I but time, as this fell Sergeant Death is strict in his arrest, oh, I could tell you. But let it be. Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
Never believed it. Oh. I'm more an antique Roman than a Dane. Here's yet some liquor left.
As thou art the man, give me the cup. I have it. I'll have it. Oh, God, Horatio. Oh, what a wounded name. Things standing thus unknown shall I leave behind me. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain, to tell my story. Oh God, Horatio, the potent poison quite overgrows my spirit. Rest is silence.
cracks a noble heart. Let these bodies high in a stage be placed to view. And let me speak to the unknowing world of how things came about. For Hamlet was likely, had he been put on to have proved most royal. Good night, sweet prince. Flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.
Thank you.